Hey guys, welcome to Windshine Audio. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm Alvin, founder of the company based in Singapore. I thought of taking this video to show you guys what is the difference between a switch mode power supply and a linear power supply, and how you can identify the product that comes with a built-in linear power supply or the built-in switch mode power supply, and what you can do to the product to potentially improve the sound quality. So let's dive in. As you guys know, we purchased quite a number of streamers on the market, and this is one that we purchased recently from iFi, GenStream. This GenStream comes with a switch mode power supply that you can use. The switch mode power supply like this is a power adapter, or some guys call it a power brick that you can plug into power strip, and this guy converts the AC to DC, and usually it comes with a connector like this where you can plug into the device to power up the device, just like that. So this thing is a switch mode power supply, and apparently you need this guy to power up the unit. Right, how about the other thing that we have on the table? This one, the RME ADI, it's a pretty long name, ADI2 DAC FS. So this is a DAC from RME, and it comes with a DC socket as well, where you can use the supply power adapter to power up this DAC. So all this concept are pretty similar, where you will see power adapter connector. You will see this comes with a power adapter. It comes with a DC socket where you can use the power adapter to power up this guy by connecting the power adapter to this socket here. And usually you will be able to know what is the voltage rating required. For the case of RME, it says it is 9 to 15 volt DC at 8 watts. So this is the power rating it requires to power up this unit here. Of course, iFi also comes with a rating like this, and it says, hang on a second, DC 9 volt 1.8 amps or DC 15 volt 0.8 amp. So this unit here accepts 9 volt to 15 volt DC. So just in case if you do not want to use the supply power adapter, you may purchase the iFi or the iFi linear power supply. I think iFi sell the linear power supply as well, to upgrade the stock adapter to power up the iFi GenStream. Okay, what are the products available on my table? This one. This is a Pi 2 design Mercury streamer. It's a pretty small streamer that comes with a power adapter as well. Comes with a DC socket as well. So this power adapter supplied by Pi 2 design supply 24 volt at 3 ampere to power up this streamer. So just to let you know, this little brick here, this is a power brick, or you can call it a power adapter. It's a switch mode power supply. It is pretty light. At this size, it can supply a pretty high current. A smaller one like this is usually rated at 1 to 1.5 ampere. A bigger one like this, despite a bigger size, it is pretty lightweight. It can supply probably about 4 to 5 ampere. That's the good thing about switch mode power supply. It is lightweight and it can supply pretty high power, comparing to linear power supply at this size. This is a linear power supply from JS Audio. It weighs about 2 kilograms, and there are more things inside. This guy here can only supply 12 volt DC at 2 ampere at max. So comparing to this switch mode power supply, this is, I think, probably around 150 to 200 grams, comparing to a 2 kilogram linear power supply. This guy is definitely the winner for weight, and I would say weight and power supply rating feature. But this guy here, it weighs substantial, but it can only supply very low ampere. So what are the difference between the switch mode power supply and a linear power supply? A switch mode power supply, in a nutshell, it converts the AC to high voltage DC and uses high frequency DC filter or switcher to convert the high voltage DC using a power transformer and regulate this DC voltage at the output stage. And the linear power supply, over here I have this exposed unit. Let me get a pointer. It usually comes with more thing. You spot a power transformer, a pretty big size one. So for the case of this J's Audio or LHY Audio LPS 80VA, it comes with filtering circuitry where it filters the AC noise. The filtered AC noise will go through this power transformer. The power transformer will step down the bigger AC to a smaller AC, and the smaller AC will be further regulated by a bunch of filtering circuitry here. So all these are rectifier, DC rectifier, where it rectify the AC to DC, and the rectified DC is further regulated by using either a stock or chip-based linear regulator, or you can see for the case of J's Audio, it uses op-amp and this MOSFET output transistor to regulate the DC, and the regulated DC is further output using these two pretty high quality connector here. So this thing weighs about 3 to 4 kilogram, and at 12 volt DC it can only supply up to 5 ampere. So comparing again to a switch mode power supply like this thing weighs significantly lighter, and this thing weighs quite a bit. So it's understandable why some manufacturer decided to use a power adapter here. I think partly it's because of the shipping weight, and partly it's because of the cost consideration. So if you're using a switch mode power supply like this, it costs pretty low. You can get this at a few dollars in Amazon or some of the electronic shops. Whereas a linear power supply like this costs quite a bit. It can cost as much as the streamer itself. So do you need to get a linear power supply? It depends on which product that you use. For the case of Dynaphrips, you will always see a power transformer in the product, because a unit like this comes with the built-in linear power supply, where you do not, or rather you cannot change the linear power supply externally. So it already comes with the unit, and you do not need to upgrade the product that comes with a linear power supply. But for the case of some other product like this, Lumin U2 Mini or the U1 Mini, or I think the T1 as well, despite it comes with a AC adapter, AC IEC power inlet, what is inside this streamer is still a switch mode power supply. Why do we know this? First is the weight. This thing weighs about 2 kilogram or less than 2 kilogram. It's hard to build a linear power supply within this small little chassis at this weight. So let me open this Lumin U2 Mini and show you guys what is inside. What is after the AC IEC power inlet? Right, I have most of the screw loosened. Let me just flip it down and loosen the two screws that's still in place. And I'll show you what is inside this U2 Mini. So again, we can see that more and more manufacturers use switch mode power supply in their product. I think partly it's because weight consideration. The weight of the switch mode power supply is lighter. And second, this is not proven yet. I do not know what is the state of the current switch mode power supply on the market. Whether is it as good as the linear power supply in terms of noise wise, or there's some technology advancement in switch mode power supply where it can supply clean DC to the audio equipment. So that I'll leave it to the professional. But I'm the olden days guys. I always use linear power supply in my system. Whenever I see power adapter like this, I will not use it. I will replace it with a linear power supply. So for the case of Lumin U2 Mini, it comes with this enclosed power supply underneath this guy, and there's this two little wire here that connect the DC power supply from this little box here to the circuitry. So let me uncase this and show you guys what is inside this enclosure. Let me put it softly. I do not want to damage the very nice casing of this Lumin streamer. Okay, there's one little screw, and we'll have the cover open. Let me see if I can manage it like that. Nope, not all yet. Oops. Okay, it's a star screw, so you need to have a star screwdriver in order to open this guy. I'll need to remove this DC cable and slide this cover open. Let me do it in this fashion. Okay, it's coming out. Okay, here we go. So this is a metal piece that potentially has the effect of shielding this switch mode power supply. And here we go. This is the switch mode power supply. This thing is from a Taiwanese company called Lumin. They are pretty well known in the markets to manufacture switch mode power supply. And this switch mode power supply converts the AC, be it 110 volt in the US or 240 volt in Singapore. Switch mode power supply can accept wide voltage range from 100 volt to 240 volt. And it steps down the AC to DC. I think it's DC 12 volt, and supply the DC voltage to this circuitry here. So this little guy here can be replaced. So I'm going to keep it for now. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to remove the switch mode power supply of the Lumin U2 Mini or the U1 Mini, they are the same, and replace it with a power capacitor bank and with a DC socket at the back where you can use one of our products like this, a linear power supply, to power up the Lumin U2 Mini. So I hope this video gives you an idea how to identify your product comes with a switch mode power supply or a linear power supply, or whether you can modify the product, or you can remove this power adapter and use a linear power supply to potentially improve the sound quality of the system. I hope this video helps, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.